Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Nicki. Nicki, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Thank you. And can you let us know where you live and what you do?
Yeah. So I'm based in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Mary Englebright Studios.
Awesome. So, Nicki, can you let us know what is your business and what you are doing?
Yeah. So Mary Englebright is a real person. She's a licensed artist. And take Mary's artwork. She's been creating for almost 50 years here. So we actually celebrate that anniversary in 2027. Very excited about it. But Mary's been creating, honestly, since she was like a child and selling, handmade greeting cards in high school for like a quarter. So she's been at this a little bit of time. And we take Mary's artwork and license it to other brands. And then we also make our own product.
Awesome. So can you let us know a little bit about your products?
Yeah. So we license Mary's artwork, honestly, on a little bit of anything and everything. She was named like top licensor in 2002, she came in second, basically. She won the award, but in terms of licensed artwork on product, she was second to Winnie the Pooh. So very big name in the licensing world from the beginning. Her first licensed artwork was on greeting cards. And then it kind of spun from there into children's books, calendars, you name it, Crayola crayons, Little Debbie, snacks, teapot, garden flags, tea, food products like we were talking about. We've got a fun chocolate collaboration coming up here soon. Children's clothing, women's apparel, bumper stickers, magnets. What else? I was trying to think of everything else that's on our website just because it's kind of can be anything and everything depending on how creative your mind is. So we like to work with other artists because we get to see another, side of Mary's artwork and how it's impacted, their lives as artists. So a more, recent collaborations that we've done are paint by number, cross stitch kits, needlepoint kits. So actually things you can touch and make. So you actually feel like you're part of the process of creating the art.
Awesome. That makes sense. So obviously in this case, you guys must have a lot of differentiators because I don't think so that you have much competitors in the market, but still what are the main differentiators?
That's assessment that you've made because we are writing a book, based on Mary's 50 years that'll come out in 2027. And that's like the number one question, who is your competitor? And we're like, no one. She's just a little bit of everything. And she's also taken a huge stand in terms of her political beliefs and putting them out there for for everyone to see. And that's made a lot of people angry and it's made a lot of people happy. So depending on what side you want to be on, that's a huge differentiator, I would say, in the marketplace because there's not a lot of artists that want to, impact their business by taking a stand on, human and civil rights.
Makes sense.
She feels very passionate about it. We feel very passionate about it. And it really started, honestly, in 2014. Shooting of Michael Brown, where she just felt like she couldn't not say something. It hit very close to home, us all being in St. Louis. So I'd say that's our biggest differentiator. And also that she's been at this for 50 years. And so our archive of artwork is just so vast. You name it. Are you a women's luxury line? I'm sure we could come up with some beautiful pattern for you based on Mary's artwork. A purse, a bag, a belt, eyewear, you name it. I'm sure we have something in our archive that's Mary's created or she's still creating. So she's not done. She brings us a portfolio of artwork once a week on Monday. Just stuff she's drawn. No big deal.
Makes sense. So behind the scene, what was the biggest why to start this business? Or you can say what was the biggest inspiration behind to start it?
So starting the business back in the, mid to late 70s, Mary really wanted to be a children's author. She grew up on those classic stories and fairy tales, and that's what she wanted to do. So she went to New York, she met with some publishers, and they were like, no, but we think your art would be great on greeting cards.
Mm-hmm.
So she went with 12 designs to the stationery big convention in New York, set up a table, had 12 designs, and she got licensed. Kind of like a dream story situation in terms of like hurdles. Her dreams are a bit crushed on not like getting that artwork in the door to the publisher. And they're just like, yes, you're an amazing artist, an illustrator, and we want you to do this. They're like, no, but we have an idea for you. With that being said, since then, Mary's published over 200 books.
Awesome.
So she got her dream.
Indeed. So I'm not sure, having a lot of things going on, how you can describe the business in one sentence, or maybe what is your elevator pitch line?
I did shut the door and close it, but that question one more time. One sentence of...
Yeah, how can you describe this business in one sentence?
We like to say that we create...
Like everything at one place?
Yeah, we create art and products to make people happy.
Awesome.
That's our mission. That's our goal.
That's great.
Just to bring happiness and light to everybody's day.
That's great. Awesome. So how do you define the success of this business? And what are the parameters to measure the success?
Well, dollars are always helpful. But brand awareness, well, Mary actually still runs her own Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do measure a lot of our success based on, impressions and views, and really just bringing, notoriety to her as an artist, her beliefs and values, and bring those to a new generation, which we feel like is very important because so many of our moms and grandmas had Mary's artwork and cherry-filled checkered kitchens. But I would say our goal currently is to bring Mary to a new generation of fans.
That's great. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the inspirational and motivational side as well. Every day, there are new businesses in the market. But on the other hand, every day, many businesses are shutting down. Many businesses are just burning out. So obviously, many of them are not able to cope up with the challenges. Every day comes with a new challenge. So I'm not sure if Mary or maybe this business have ever faced any challenges. Well, I think so. Must have faced, because challenges are part of the entrepreneurship. They are specially meant for the entrepreneurs. So can you share one challenge with us and let us know how you guys were able to cope up with that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, when the market crashed in 2008, Mary talks about this challenge a lot. And, people weren't licensing artwork anymore, and they're bringing in in-house artists. She had 16 stores nationwide as well, in different malls and venues like that. And that all kind of came to a close right after, the fall of the economy in 2008. And, in the licensing, one of the biggest pivots they made was obviously going online, right? And creating an e-commerce store. So that's how they pivot from actually having brick and mortar and retail stores. Now, we get asked the question a lot when we are going to reopen stores. And that question is still undetermined because that's a huge capital purchase, lease.
Yeah, obviously.
We have the product in our warehouse, so setting up the store would be easy, but that's a huge hurdle. And where, right? What's the best place? Obviously, it's not malls anymore, and really just figuring out who we are in the new brick and mortar space.
Makes sense.
Downtown strips, or is it little, boutiques outside of, major cities? Who are we and where do we want to be?
Awesome. For entrepreneurs, the challenges and the pivot, these are sort of scary words. And even many entrepreneurs are afraid of to talk about the pivots, because everybody do have their own dreams. Everybody do have some emotional attachment with their own ideas. But yes, just like in your case, pivot, it was one of the good decision. So I believe pivot is not that bad every time. So sometimes it comes with the good tidings. Awesome. Well, that's great. So other than these things, can you guide me a little bit about the marketing side? I'm not sure if you guys are running marketing online or offline, because marketing is an essential for any business, but I'm not sure how you guys are coping up with the marketing.
Yeah. So we do predominantly digital marketing only. We don't do any print marketing. I don't know where those go anymore. Generally, we're using our email subscriber list and then our social media accounts, pages, and Meta advertising. We did do Google for a few years, and we just found the return on Meta for our demographic is just so vast that it's not really worth spending the dollars on Google at the moment. Now that could change. Some other avenues we've looked at are like Pinterest ads, Reddit ads, going down those channels. We haven't done. That being said, I actually started 3 years ago. So I've only been there 3 years. And when I started, the company wasn't doing any marketing at all besides just organic posts on Facebook and on Instagram. So we've seen exponential growth since starting Meta ads in terms of some months we'll see 80%, 90% over last year's numbers. Other months we're sitting, more to the 20 to 40% over year to date over last year. We're at 50%, and the year before that, which was when we really started doing the ads and putting an actual, budget in place for those, we saw a jump in most months over 50%. So yes, you should do marketing and ads. I would say the general consensus. It's such a scary thing to do, I think, because you're looking at that ad spend per day and you're like, ooh, $350 a day, ooh, $400 a day. That just feels like a big number sometimes, or even when you get to the $1,000 or $2,000 a day. But as long as you're seeing that return, you got to bite the bullet and spend the cash.
Yeah, makes sense. We are about to last couple of questions. So can you please tell me what are your short-term goals? In fact, I think we have already discussed. Yeah, we have already discussed the short-term goals. So can you please give us the biggest piece of advice for our viewers who are entrepreneurs and the ones who are already dreaming to be their own boss?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest advice is just be 1% better every day. It's all you need to do.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
Baby steps. 1% better every day. How can you do this email better next time? How can you make sure that the right people are seeing your product? And I have a lot of advice, I guess. And follow up on your emails. Don't forget.
That's a good one. Awesome. Well, Nicki, please let our viewers know how they can reach you or Mary. You can share a website or social media handles, whatever you want to.
Yeah, our website is just maryenglebright.com. And Englebright is not spelled how you think. It's Engelbreit. And her social handles are just at Mary Englebright on Instagram. Or no, sorry, we're not on X anymore. Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. And Blue Sky.
Awesome.
She's very easy to find. Google Mary Englebright. Our website comes up. So we've got excellent SEO.
That's great. Awesome. Well, Nicki, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a really nice talking to you, and hopefully we will stay in touch. Thank you.
Yes. Have a great day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.